Hello, I'm Reverend Dr. Michael Kaminski, Metaphysician at Spirit Quest Academy. Today, let's look at creating crystal grids. They're so fun. You can use your imagination and come up with things. I'll show you a number of examples using just a few simple gemstones up to some more elaborate, powerful gemstones. So I can give you some examples that might span whatever kind of crystals you have in your possession. So with that, let's look at a few examples. Okay, here's another simple grid. Very easy to make. These are all clear quartz crystals. I'm using a larger tumbled stone in the center. And this I have aligned magnetically to north, south, east, and west. If you don't know these directions, why use a compass and set that on the table to get your directions correct. If you don't have a compass handy, the simple way is where the sun comes up in the morning is the eastern sky, the eastern horizon. So have your right arm, your right shoulder facing that sunrise, pointing to there. And as you're turning sideways with your right side pointing at the rising sun in the east, you are now facing north. Your left arm and left side of the body are facing west, and the back side of your body is facing south. Now, of course, the sun moves north and south along the horizon with the seasons of winter through summer. But just the same, that's generally east, and it gives you enough direction to make your grid work. Now this grid I've aligned to north, south, east, and west. This being the right side of my body, this is left side of the body, this is where I'm facing, and this is the back of my head or the back of my body. Now this very simple grid I'm just putting in place to bring light into this room and enlighten the energies here. Bring the energies of this room up. Now you might use this in a dining area or an area where you study or read books, and you want to bring that information in clear, absorb it, use it, calculate it. All right? And so this basically puts a magnetic grid into that room and infuses it with the light of the universe. Intelligence. Now, a few easy modifications if you have stones. It's always nice to have a pointed stone in the center, as this concentrates your intention up into the universe. And it works very much like the seventh chakra in your body at the top of your head. It directs the energy up in that concentrated beam, and the universal energy comes back down into your grid, using this pointed crystal as the channel, the conduit. Here's another example. This is a nice flame cut crystal. You can see I'll turn that around a bit. And that makes a very lovely crystal here in that grid. Okay, so let's change that up a bit. Here's a very simple grid I've made with rose quartz and clear quartz. These are tumbled stones. I have a larger stone in the middle. And when you make your grid, always make it in a geometric shape, preferably one of sacred geometry, because these are the building blocks of the universe. So I have a circular pattern around a center stone. And my intention here is to bring in a love exchange in my life. So as I become more loving, I can put out more loving energy of love and light to those around me, be an example to those around me as I go about my daily life at work or shopping or with my family and friends. So we have the rose quartz, which is always symbolic of love energy, gentle, kind, flowing love energy, and the clear quartz crystal, which is symbolic of clear light energy. Clear light energy holds all frequencies, clear light of the universe coming in. So there's an example of a simple grid using gemstones. Now in this crystal grid, I'm using turquoise, I'm using hematite, and the centerpiece is a smoky quartz, a flame-cut smoky quartz. All right, so what are my intentions here? The turquoise can be used for so many things, but here my intention is to rebalance the male and female energy throughout my system, especially through my chakras. And I'm using the hematite, which has a strong magnetic property, to draw that intention in and use that magnetism to spin the chakras both clockwise and counterclockwise, so they are spinning up to speed and balanced. And then the center stone, the smoky quartz, is really magnificent at dispelling negative energy, providing protection, the protection of the quartz itself. So in releasing hidden energies in my chakra system and rebalancing the male and female energies through my system, I will release negative energies, hurt, wounds, be able to forgive myself and forgive others. So this is, again, is a simple little grid, and that is my intention. As you're familiar with your gemstones, use the gemstone in the grid to help you to bring in and create the effects you want with your intentions. Now in this crystal grid, I have enhanced the grid by using a turquoise rope as a boundary. So energy stays out, energy stays in. Unwanted energy stays out, my intentions stay within. Anytime you put a boundary around your grid, you are creating more of, let's say, a hot spot or a vortex for that energy. I've also increased the energy of the previous grid I showed you by adding in crystal points, all of them pointing into the center. So again, my intention in this grid will be to balance male and female energies through my chakra system using the turquoise, to attract that magnetically with the hematite. And the hematite also brings in higher mental acuity and grounding. So we're grounding Father Sky, Mother Earth, as these energies come in through the center, the smoky quartz, which is sending my intention up to the heavens, to the cosmos. And as that intention flows back down into the grid, it manifests for me. So using a boundary adds more dimension, more power, more concentration into your grid. All right, in this grid, we're getting a little more complex with both the selection of the gemstones and the intentions that I'm putting into the grid. Now, of course, you'll make your grid with your intentions and choose stones that help resonate the energy and frequency around those intentions to bring them to you and to power your grid up. So in the center, I have quartz crystal as my point. I have a series of crystal points, all energizing. So this is bringing energy in and up. Now, there's 8 points. There are 4 pieces of tiger's eye. There are 4 pieces of snowflake obsidian, and my boundary is a rope of snowflake obsidian. So, my intention here is I want to bring in mental, psychic, spiritual clarity into my life. I need to amp this up for my ascension intentions in divine right timing with the universe and my life plan, my life contract, my soul contract. So in silent meditation, I can get in touch with these energies. So this is empowered with the quartz, which is clear light. I always see my crystals as frozen light, and the frequencies they are bringing in associated with the colors and the properties of the crystal. So the tiger's eye, while it has many properties and intentions, my intention here is bringing in mental, psychic clarity. The tiger's eye can help you see through your patterns, see through your self-patterns that hold you back, the patterns that carry you forward, the positive, the negative. And I'm enhancing that with the snowflake obsidian, which is a stone of purity. It can bring purity and balance to my body, mind, and spirit, and help me recognize these unnecessary patterns in my life so I can redesign them, overcome them, forgive and forget, move on, and release the wounds of the past. The snowflake obsidian rope creates a boundary, a very grounding divided line, so that within my crystal grid, my energies have an amplitude of 100 times, 1,000 times, and more, 1,000,000 times, amping up my intentions to bring in the spiritual information, the psychic information, the practical information into my mind, to allow me to see clearly and move forward with the things that allow me progress in my personal life. Just as an aside, any of your personal work. As you work on yourself and improve yourself in your life, you're improving the world, you're improving the earth, you're improving the cosmos as part of your life plan and life purpose. If everyone just took care of themselves, the world would be a wonderful place. And taking care of ourselves can be a full-time job. So my intentions here are to be a bit myopic, looking in at my life, at what I need to change so that I interface with other people as they come in, go through my life, through communication, through work, through all kinds of relationships. Family, friends, strangers. All right. So as always, you can use a wand, bring your intention in. You can place your intention under the center stone if you wish, or in a small grid with small gems. I have my intention on a list written outside. And I will put that next to my grid and review that daily. This grid, I have my center stone being a piece of amethyst, a lovely tower. Then on the inner, there's 8 crystal points, small points. And surrounding that is a selection of selenite hearts and different gemstone hearts. Amethyst, hematite. Okay, and then interspersed with rose quartz and clear quartz. And the boundary grid here is a rope of adventuring. Now, my intention here is world peace. And the amethyst represents the amethyst flame of Saint Germain, burning bright, bringing that beautiful energy down into the planet. And then here I have the crystal points pointing out, because as that Saint Germain energy, the violet flame, comes in and cleanses the planet, I want it to radiate that cleansing, loving, powerful energy out. And with the hearts and gemstones, I'm representing people, nations, countries, states, races, and interdimensions. This planet is so beautiful. Right from the first dimension, the second dimension, the third dimension, the fourth, the fifth, and beyond. And so the adventuring rope, in this case, is going to represent that green, grounding health of energy in nature. The closer we tune to nature, the closer we know ourselves and the magnificent cosmic energy that is our Earth, our Mother Gaia. The prosperity she brings and shows us with all the life forms around us. The mineral kingdom with its high energies that can be programmed and bring intention, love, security, grounding, intelligence, all into our lives. And the representation of the second dimension, the animals, the plants, and of course we have the mineral kingdom, animal kingdom, plant. All of these are representing life growing on Earth, including us as spirits in human form, the thing we all have in common on this planet is we live from the sun's energy, which allows life to grow and flourish in a multitude of facets, in the ocean, in the atmosphere, on the land. So here, this crystal grid will bring that energy in to my room, into my home, and into me as spirit, to allow me to interface with nature, and as all people can learn to interface with nature and take the time to breathe and be alone with themselves and the magnificent energy that we are as spirit, we can ascend and drop away from the material conflagrations that go on in the strife of third dimension, which is part of the lesson. To learn the good and the bad, and to curb your energy into the direction that allows you to experience your ascension in the best way possible. Here's a crystal grid I've made on my favorite large ceramic dish. I'm using a large center crystal over my intention note. And the thing I also like about this dish is it's a very safe way to also use a candle as the center point, which oftentimes is a really nice touch. To light a candle, burn a brief incense or Palo Santo wood, brings the intentions up to heaven, clears the space, clears the grid. All right. But for now, I'll replace it with the large center crystal. Now, around the crystal, I've used pieces of citrine. Because my intention here, I have the points pointing in. Some are rough pieces of citrine. And my intention is to bring in abundance for creativity, communication, and inspiration. Now this is a more complex grid I've made, and my intention is a little more complex. I also have crystal points around, and I have the points facing in to amplify the energy that comes in to the center point and bring that attention up to the universe and allow the universe to bring that back down through the crystal and radiate into my grid. Around the outside of the grid, I have obsidian. And obsidian is excellent for grounding. It's also there to provide a stability in my intentions, so that as my manifestation comes through in creativity, communication, it's inspiration with grounding. So my intentions are able to have stability and a practical application to them. So now to activate this grid, I'm going to use a crystal wand of diamantia. And I'm going to touch the center point, go around the citrine, go around the crystal points, go around the obsidian gems. Now you can activate this with Reiki if you're a Reiki practitioner at level 1, level 2, or level 3. And if not, that's fine. Activate this with the love and light of your intentions. So take a moment, take a deep breath, review your intention list that you put under the center point, and meditate on this for a moment. As you breathe, go into that meditative state and feel the energies coming out of you, of your intention, going into your crystal grid. And as you do this more and more, you'll become familiar with an energy coming back from the grid of communication. As you have programmed your intention into the grid, now you pull back and let the grid do its work for you. I recommend spending a few minutes with the grid every day. At least, 1 time, 2 times, whatever is convenient for you in your daily schedule. And every day you're repeating your intention and you're building that energy and you're checking in with the grid. A grid with a complex set of intention like this, I will leave in place for 4 to 6 weeks, checking in with it and making notes as to what I'm feeling, what I'm seeing come into my life, what I'm seeing in my communication and my creativity change. And this keeps amplifying the energies flowing through that grid and bringing my intentions to me so they manifest in this practical, stable, grounded way. Okay, that's a wrap for now. Be well. Have fun creating your own crystal grids. Use your imagination. Write down your intentions and put them to work for you. I find if you create a grid that feels right for you, then leave that in place. View it every day for 3-4 weeks, 30 days or more, really, 4 to 6 weeks, and watch how that intention feels like it's coming in to your life and manifesting. As you practice with this, I'm sure you'll get good results and have a lot of fun. Okay,